Hi, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sylvia Kenya, and if you've not subscribed, kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you're a new subscriber, karibu, you're welcome. Road to 500 subscribers, karibuni sana. So I want to tell you a story. Today's story time. I was bullied in primary school. So I was taken to a boarding primary school when I was in class 5. That is at that time and point in my life, that is when my mom had been transferred from one town to another. So we had moved to another new town, and I think my mother had predicted that in the near future maybe she would be moved to another town. So I think she preferred that I would go to a boarding school so that at least I could be stable matters school. So at that time and point, I was transferred from a public primary school to a boarding primary school, and I was transferred at class 5. That is when I joined the new school. That was a boarding school somewhere in Kenya, in the rural Kenya, somewhere in Kenya, yes, somewhere in the rural Kenya, where I was taken to a boarding school at class 6. I remember very well that at that time I was so young, so tiny, and I was taken to boarding school, considering that was my first time in high school. High school, primary school. So it happened that there was a point whereby we had in that school we had a dormitory. So in the dormitory we had cubes for classes. So we had a class 4 cube, class 5 cube, class 6 cube, class 7, and class 8 cube. So it happened that I was in the class 6 cube because I was in class 6. And it happened that we had a girl who was in class 7, and she came from a very maybe a rich family, and she was in class 7 and she was in class 7 cube. So it happened that someone stole something from her box. We used to use box to store our belongings, clothes, shopping, and all that. So I remember she had like 3 boxes and most of us had 1 box. So in her box she had a lot of shoppings, a lot of snacks, and all that. And all of you who are from Kenya know how life is difficult when you're in a public boarding primary school. There's no food, sometimes you feel angry and all that. So I think somebody decided to steal something from her box. And I still remember very well that someone stole Blue Band from her box, that is margarine, from her box. And she used to come from a political family. By then it was a very famous politician in the country. So she came from that family. So the head girl then decided that on that very day when that margarine was stolen from her box, that evening we had a meeting. She told us that somebody stole margarine from this girl's box, and we looked for it and nobody was found with the margarine. So eventually what happened, the next day at 3 a.m., she woke all of us, all the girls in that dormitory from class 4 cube to class 8 cube. We were told to remove our clothes and we should go outside the dormitory. And you can even, I'm sure you know how cold it is at 3 a.m. when you go outside naked. So all of us were naked. All the girls were naked. I think except the head girl, the assistant head girl, and the dormitory captain were fully dressed. But all of us were taken outside at 3 a.m. They inspected our box. They inspected our beds looking for that, just a margarine. I think at that point they looked for the margarine and it was not found. And you remember we were still outside. We stayed outside from 3 a.m. till 7 a.m. I remember it was a Catholic school. So at 7, we usually had a mass at 7 a.m. on Sunday. So I remember our girls' dormitory was separated from the boys' dormitory. Just the dining hall was in between the girls' dormitory and the boys' dormitory. So I remember the boys woke up at 6, they took their shower, they went for breakfast in the dining hall, and we were still standing outside in the cold, naked. So the boys were just looking at us and they were wondering what the girls were doing outside naked. Remember, we had stayed outside from 3 a.m. and at that time it was 7 a.m. Seriously, we were shivering. It was cold. It was seriously cold. Eventually they never got the margarine, and eventually we were told to go back to the dormitory. We took our shower, and eventually we went back we went back for breakfast, and later on we went for mass. So that is the end of my story. So if you are from any Kenyan school, maybe depending whether it's in high school or a primary boarding school, if you've ever been bullied, kindly comment down below in the comment section, so that at least we can engage, and maybe we can share our experiences, our various experiences. Maybe you are bullied in Form 1, maybe you are bullied in primary school just like us. Just tell us, can you share your story, please? So fast forward to last year or 2 years ago, I went to a certain local bank in Kenya. When I was at the teller, I met the brother to the Edgar who bullied us, who took us outside at night. I remember talking to him, telling him, "Hi, how are you doing? Where's your sister? Kindly tell your sister that I still remember the way she bullied us." And the brother really apologized on behalf of their sister. Anyway, I've forgiven her, but it is not good to bully other people or to monolize other people. So if you've watched till this far end, kindly consider subscribing for more and more sit down stories. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. Bye.